with our heroes having to struggle in defending themselves in Universe 11 against the likes of Hearts, Lags, and Orin, and with Goku having to lose his Ultra Instinct ability after facing off against Lags, we now find ourselves on the front lines as Vegeta finally reveals Super Saiyan Blue Evolution against the newly created fusion known as Orin. As Hearts awaits the fate of Goku and many others, we further drive ourselves deeper into the Super Dragon Ball Heroes story as Hearts looks to finish his plans in fueling the Universal Seed and destroying the gods above gods. As I want to welcome you all to my Super Dragon Ball Heroes Anime Episode 11 review, and also wishing you all a very happy Goku Day because it is Goku Day over in Japan. Now, Super Dragon Ball Heroes Anime Episode 11. What was it about and was it worth watching? Now, I think that from the get-go, after following the events of Super Dragon Ball Heroes Anime Episode 10, Goku should have never have lost the ability in using Ultra Instinct Omen to begin with from the previous episode. Why? Because this episode proved that without Goku having the ability to fully use Ultra Instinct, our heroes are placed in a very sticky situation to where there's basically no survival. And when looking at what specific characters were doing in this episode, for example, Trunks, were completely wasted and useless by the end of the episode, because what could Trunks really do against the likes of Hearts, against the likes of Zamasu, against the likes of Orin, when by the end of it, the only real effort that was being taken into consideration here was Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. And even that, I will say, was a really cool thing. The animation, the music, the fluidity of the episode was there, and I'm really surprised that for the last couple of episodes, they've done a really good job in keeping things consistent. But from the very beginning, we see how Goku's on the ground. He's struggling to get up, which I really don't understand why, given the circumstance that Lags is strong, but up in the sky, Evolution Blue Vegeta fights against Orin, and I really did enjoy at first how Evolution Blue Vegeta had the upper hand on Orin, but Goku was talking to Vegeta more or less in a way to where Vegeta had no chance, which is kind of weird. But as soon as Lags tries to re-enter the fight and finishing off Goku, out of nowhere Trunks arrives, and Trunks tried to step in, which I really did not understand how he was able to basically tank her attacks if Ultra Instinct Omen Goku wasn't able to, and that really rubbed me the wrong way, especially seeing how Trunks just tanked his way through by like charging right through her attacks, which by the end of it, I mean, I guess you could say it would be okay if he had some sort of an upgrade or some sort of a power-up that gave him that advantage. But what I really enjoyed is seeing Evolution Blue Vegeta just mud stomp Orin, and that just goes to show the significant difference in power between Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, because Orin really didn't have a chance, because early on, we see how Vegeta is just punching and kicking the fusion around until towards the middle of the episode where Vegeta was attempting to really go all in, and somehow Orin was still in the fight against Vegeta. So it was what it was for the most part, but just to initially point out that Vegeta did have the upper hand. And as Goku looks up at Hearts, I really did enjoy how Hearts was just casually looking down at Goku. He didn't really acknowledge him that much because he's basically the head leader of this entire thing. But when we go back to Jiren versus Merge Zamasu, boy, was that a mud stomp. As much as Zamasu tried, Jiren beat the ever so crap out of him. Like, Jiren really stomped this man into the rocks, but it was very obvious that Merge Zamasu wasn't able to feel anything, because by the end of it, he was able to recover his power because he's immortal, which is a little funky considering the fact that Jiren had the upper hand completely against him. But at a certain point in time, Merge Zamasu just completely healed from his wounds, which was a little off, I would have to say, considering the fact that Jiren was getting really irritated, which I personally enjoyed myself. But towards the middle of the episode, we saw a beautiful, beautiful animation of Vegeta's final flash on Orin, which was phenomenal. I would have to say Vegeta's final flash in this particular episode of Heroes was better than the final flash we saw in Dragon Ball Super when Vegeta fought Jiren. So keep that in mind. The animation and the fluidity behind the final flash in this episode was beautiful, and it was strong enough to even separate the fusion. So what I also did enjoy and noticed was during Vegeta's parts of his battle against Orin, the animation and the art looked very, very different. For a split second, it looked a lot like Shintani's in a way, but when we go back to Lags versus Trunks, it was crazy how she had some sort of a glass technique that was coming up off the ground, to where Goku quickly stepped in and he was just getting knifed left and right. So Lags is a pretty interesting character when it comes to her abilities, because it looks like she can summon and create these attacks out of nowhere, which is a pretty nifty thing, I would say, early on. So she did her thing against Goku, but Goku didn't drop, which was weird. So the power scaling, the pacing, everything was a little wonky until we see Hearts basically command Lags to initiate the plan further for them to fuel the Universal Seed to destroy the rest of the gods. So by the end of it, Goku's acknowledging Hearts, and Hearts is looking down at Goku, basically just trying to understand and figure him out, because we all know that Hearts is able to read minds, and Hearts is able to pick up on specific emotions and the way certain people carry themselves. So even though the official translations aren't out right now, it was as clear as day that Hearts knew what he was doing, because by the end of the episode, he welcomed Goku in his initial plan to actually do something about it, which Goku kind of tried as soon as he transformed into a Super Saiyan, but that went nowhere, because the minute he transformed and charged directly at Hearts, Hearts put them down, including with Evolution Blue Vegeta. So that's how strong of an effect Hearts has on everybody, because as he kept Evolution Blue Vegeta down, as he kept Goku down, as he kept Trunks down, these dudes were really struggling to get up, and that's the influence and the effect that Hearts has on these individuals. But the only person that looked like they were resisting was Goku, and that was a little weird, considering the fact that 2 episodes ago, Jiren did the same thing until Hearts basically gave out in holding him down some more. But Goku looked like he was about to actually blast this individual, which I was waiting for, until a massive hole in the sky basically ripped in, and this light was shining down at Goku. And it was really weird at first, because I thought that he was going to transform into Ultra Instinct, but in fact, it was the Supreme Kai. Shin showed up, and the minute he did, Hearts nearly had a heart attack, no pun intended, because as soon as Shin showed up, everyone used instant transmission, and when they gathered all together, they all just completely vanished. So they all left the battlefield, which was a smart thing in a way, but at the same time, to me, what this says is that the villains actually had the victory here. The villains actually had the upper hand, because it forced the heroes in retreating. So by the end of it, we have Merge Zamasu and Hearts standing over Jiren, and the Universal Seed is about basically finished in a way. I guess they have to go to Universe 3 to complete their plan, but the only other person remaining there was Jiren. So as soon as Jiren was about to attack them, he was basically frozen in this cube, in not being able to do anything at all. And what really pissed me off here was seeing fat-ass Toppo actually pop up in the end, as I originally thought he was going to do something about freeing his friend, but he didn't do anything at all. So Toppo was, again, very, very useless by the end of all of this. So when the episode ends, we go back inside of Fu's lab, and again, Fu's just enjoying himself. This guy's having a great time, just kicking back and watching everything go down. So we see this broken down laboratory, but at the same time, by the end of this episode, what ended off on the cliffhanger was seeing Metal Cooler. That was like the weirdest thing, because by the end of the episode, everybody did survive, and what I mean by everybody is Cammy Oren, Merge Zamasu, Hearts. Nobody actually lost, and as Hearts and Merge Zamasu left, Toppo and Jiren remained, and they basically were left to do their own thing by themselves. So in terms of animation, in terms of fluidity, this was a good episode, and I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that Heroes has evolved ever since episode 1 in giving us a steady, good animated pacing for its overall narrative. We see the way everything flows, we see the way everything moves, the music is pretty good, so I wouldn't have to complain. The only thing I would have to complain for is the fact that Toppo didn't do anything, so why have him be involved? We saw how Trunks was able to survive Lags' attacks, which was really weird to me, because if UI Omen got put down so easily, how come Trunks didn't get put down so easily? So that was a little bit that was off in my book, but I really did enjoy the overall desperation factor, which was needed for this episode, and we are going to have a lot more headed our way, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, because I will keep you guys posted on that. But again, this was a really fun episode. I don't think that it's something that you should, look too deep into, but some of these characters, I will tell you, are really badass. So props to them for making such a good episode because I really did enjoy watching Super Dragon Ball Heroes episode 11. But by the end of it, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. How did you guys feel about this episode? What did you guys think about Kami Orin and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, Cumber, Merge Zamasu, all of that good stuff, Jiren? I want to get your thoughts down below. Also, the manga for Super Dragon Ball Heroes is supposed to be dropping this month, which basically reveals the alternative conflict involving Hearts, Jiren, Ultra Instinct Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, and many other characters, alongside the Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 48 special, which will be dropping later on in about 2 weeks from now. So make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications, because we're going to be getting the continuation of Majin Buu vs. Moro, and alongside some other goodies to come. So be sure to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button, guys, and tune back in for more. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to get your thoughts down below, and I want to get your predictions as to what's going to happen in the future episodes. For example, Super Dragon Ball Heroes episode 12, which will be airing relatively soon. I will give you guys the release date on my Twitter at UnrealEntGaming. So again, thank you all so much for watching, guys. Big stuff happening in the next couple of days, so I hope to see you back on the channel. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck, Zarbon? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Frieza.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!